What's up, guys, and welcome back to another video on the Tom Dark channel. I'm your host, Tom Dark, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. You know, normally on this channel, at least on the public videos that are for everyone, I'll do a video about like a drama topic or like a story or something. You know, just sort of a more structured thing. But I think for this video instead, I want to try to sort of do what I do on my streams, which is just kind of talk about a topic that I have in my head a lot, that I've been thinking about a lot, and maybe, you know, spread some wisdom for you guys, or maybe not. Maybe everything I say will just be completely stupid. That's very possible. Likely, even. I'd say there's like a 70% chance that's the case. But maybe this will be a worthwhile listen for you guys. And what better way to do that? What better way to get the intellectual juices flowing than by playing the greatest video game of all time, Fortnite?
If you're gonna play like that, you better have shockwaves to finish the job. Because if that guy had shockwaves after he railed me like that from behind, after he shot on my back, after he came from behind.
So we're just gonna get in this lobby here. You can see I've got my cool skin or whatever. How do I make him dance again? That one? There we go. Look at my default dance. Yeah. You know, I was listening to a Logan Paul music video, an old one the other day. I was watching it like 7 times. It's like 2017, I think. He's like, "Ya yeet." I think we gotta bring that back. I think we gotta bring back "Ya yeet." I think that would be a good thing to bring back. I feel like it's cool. It's based. It shows that you're taking the right pill these days. It shows that you're on the right supplements. It shows that you're taking Tren. It shows that you're getting yoked at the gym. It shows that your penis is shrinking. So everyone, can I get a "ya yeet" in chat, or sorry, in the comment section right now, because we're not live? Can I get some "ya yeets" in the comment section? Spelled YAHYEET. I think with a space in between. "Ya yeet," all caps. "Ya yeet." I think that's the way we're gonna go about it. But anyway, I think the thing that I wanted to talk about today is a phenomenon that I've experienced a lot in my life, and I think it would be good to share it with you guys. And that is expectation versus reality, and how these things often have very little to actually do with each other. At least in my experience, I've found that maybe what I expected to happen in life is often not the case at all, and instead that was maybe a delusion of grandeur to an extent. And the reason that I actually was sparked to talk about this is because of something that doesn't necessarily pertain to what I'm talking about today, but is, you know, a case of expectation versus reality, although in more of a meme way, and that is with Dream's face reveal. You know, Dream's audience were very excited to see what he looked like. I think a lot of them thought that he would look like some kind of Greek god. You know, they heard his sexy voice. They were like, oh, he must be so handsome. He probably is like chiseled and 6'3", and he probably is the cutest boy ever. You know, he simultaneously looks like a ripped man, and he also looks like Timothy Chalamet. You know, he's like got the perfect jawline and nose and whatever. He looks like a lizard, but like a sexy, like, this is what these people wanted from him. And they were unfortunately met with the, you know, bleak, cold reality that instead, he just looks like a normal dude. And I know a lot of people were memeing him, calling him ugly, saying he looks like Shane Dawson or whatever. He kind of does look like Shane Dawson, but I don't think Shane Dawson is ugly. But a lot of people were like, oh my God, he's ugly. It's like, he's actually not. And most of the people calling him ugly are probably unattractive themselves. He's just a normal looking person. Like, he just looks like an average white dude with brown hair. Like, I don't know what the fuck you expected the Minecraft YouTuber to look like. Are there any Minecraft YouTubers that are like insanely attractive? Like, there might be a few outliers, but it's like, there's no reason to believe that someone who spends his time playing Minecraft all fucking day, programming or whatever the fuck Dream does, ethical hacking and doxing. Okay, there's no reason. That's meta irony, by the way. I don't mean that, but there's no reason to think that that guy should be super attractive, super hot, super sexy. And I'm not trying to call him ugly. I'm not trying to shit on his appearance. I'm not trying to pile on the Dream hate bandwagon, as fun as that is sometimes, because I don't hate Dream. I don't have any real emotional investment in Dream. You know, he is kind of a coward when it comes to apologizing to his audience too much for dumb jokes or whatever. But ultimately, is that big of a deal? Let's be real. No, it's not. It's really not that big of a deal. So there's no real emotional investment I have in Dream. What I do find very funny is seeing people constantly mauled over the fact that I don't know, he's not a fucking Chad King over here. But once again, like, expectation versus reality was just not met. Expectations were not met in that scenario. People delusionally believe that something out of their control, something that they don't even have a say in, like, there's no way that they could influence Dream's attractiveness or something, or influence his appearance, but they delusionally believe that something out of their control could be affected somehow by the way that they thought about it, and as a result they got emotionally invested. And then when it turned out it was wrong, they call him ugly, when in reality he's, you know, he's not even like unattractive. He's like a perfect, like, 7 out of 10, like just a normal looking dude, reasonably handsome, nothing wrong with the way he looks at all. And same with Corpse Husband. Like, I saw Corpse Husband's face. Obviously I think it's his face. Obviously I'm not going to put it here because I don't want to dox him or whatever, but at this point everyone knows, you know, the dude got his face leaked or whatever. Honestly, he looks like me. He looks like fucking me. And I don't think I'm a particularly ugly person, but I'm also not a particularly attractive one. But because people had this unreal expectation that because of his voice or his hand or whatever, he would look like a fucking, you know, god, their expectations were just not got met. If they had no preconceived notions about what Corpse Husband would look like, then when they actually saw his face, they'd probably just be like, oh, you know, I guess he's kind of cute. But it wouldn't be this crazy thing where it's like, what the fuck? He's so ugly. Oh my God, he doesn't look like Brad Pitt. It's like, dude, he doesn't show his face in the first place. He makes like raps about being emo and being like hating himself and like wanting to cut himself or whatever. Like, there's no reason you should be thinking that this guy is going to be insanely hot. But that's just, you know, the way fans are. That's the way a lot of crazy fans are. They just have crazy expectations. And it's to the point where I honestly feel bad for Corpse Husband, because I feel like he didn't deserve to have that much like hype around his face. Obviously, to an extent, he did, I guess, like profit off of what people thought he was going to look like. But there's really no reason why people would think that he's like super hot. It's not like he was every day tweeting like, look at my jawline, guys, listen, I'm looks maxing right now, the hell out. There's absolutely no reason to think that anything like that would be the case. So ultimately, I think for that reason, I kind of feel bad for Corpse Husband, because now, like, if he ever did face reveal, there's no way that his face could meet expectations. There's no way that people's expectation could be met with that reality, with a reality that they would be satisfied with. And even if he was super like hot or whatever, I don't think there's any world in which these people would be satisfied, because the sad truth is that there's no extent to which, even if he did look like Brad Pitt, they'd probably find some way to say that Brad Pitt is ugly, or they'd find some way to be like, oh, he looks old, or they'd find some other way to criticize him. Like, there's 10 different reasons they would use to shit on the dude, and there's just no way they would be happy. And the reason I bring this up is because it's just like a common pop culture example of expectation versus reality. But I think that the lesson that this taught me is that in my own life, it's good to draw parallels and be like, well, you know what, expectation rarely meets reality. So instead of enjoying the idea of that expectation and what could happen, you have to enjoy the process. Imagine if all these people, instead of being invested in what Dream or Corpse Husband could look like, they were just invested in his content. They were invested in with his personality and watching his content and enjoying that. And that way, if they were just concerned with the present and what actually does affect them and what they can like actually partake in, if they were concerned with that, and when he face reveals, it wouldn't be this big disappointment where it's like, no, he doesn't look like Vegeta or whatever. Is Vegeta like the hot? Vegeta is a funny example. I don't know why I said fucking Vegeta, but he doesn't look like X insert character from TV show that I found really hot in middle school that I wanted to look like. There's absolutely no reason why these people should be so concerned with what he will look like. What they should be concerned with is his content. In my own life, I've found that basing everything that I want in life off of the end result is a bad way to go about it. You know, everyone knows the quote, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. And that's a very corny thing that like moms say when you're like, are we there yet? And they'll say something, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. It's like, okay, motherfucker, I've been in the car for 4 hours. I don't give a shit. My Nintendo DS died. If you don't pull over so I can charge it or something at a Starbucks or buy me ice cream, I'm gonna beat your stupid fucking face in.
How do you feel about that, Mom?
You know, it is actually a good quote, I think, for a lot of reasons. You know, one of those reasons being, if you're so invested in the outcome of something, then you will oftentimes create unrealistic expectations. Whereas if you learn to enjoy the minutia, then you will probably not only be less disappointed when you do get a disappointing result, you'll also oftentimes have a better result if you actually enjoy the process and aren't so stressed about the result. And that's not to say that when let's say you're working on a project, like let's say you're making a painting. That's not to say that when you're making that painting, you should totally give up any expectation of what you want it to be or what you think would make it good. And that also doesn't mean it's not an excuse to stop trying hard on that painting, on that piece of art. But it is to say, okay, try to get more invested in the process of making it, in the minute-to-minute parts of that labor of waking up, you know, drinking your coffee, getting to painting, you know, planning it well, thinking thoroughly about, you know, how you want this line to be and that line to be and how the colors are going to be, rather than thinking about the whole totality the entire time. And it's not only the totality for a piece of art, but it's also like how other people are going to feel. Be more invested in how you can make it good than how other people will necessarily enjoy it. And people will enjoy it more in the end, is what I found. And once again, this isn't an excuse for laziness, because I think a lot of people will use the, you know, defying expectations as an excuse to like not try. And that's not what I'm saying, because you do have to think about, for example, with me, with the thing that I work on the most, which is obviously YouTube videos. When I'm making a YouTube video, I'm not thinking about every second of it. I'm not thinking about, oh, how many views is this going to get? Oh, this is going to be so popular. I'm going to make money from this. What I'm thinking about is, how can I make the viewer experience good through this video? And how can I personally make a video that I'm going to enjoy making? Because if I enjoy making a video, if I enjoy, you know, saying things and putting out that content like I do right now, to be honest, I'm having fun just talking shit. shit. If I enjoy that process, that energy will carry through to the viewer much better than it would if the entire video I was so concerned with how to optimize it the best and do everything the best to make it the best product, the most scientifically best product. You know, I was listening to this great podcast with Mr. Beast the other day. I was re-listening to it actually because I've heard it before, but he has a lot of great advice. So he was on the Full Send podcast, which for those of you guys who don't know is Nelk's podcast. They're like, I guess they used to do like prank stuff, but now they're more of like a vlogging lifestyle kind of brand. You know, they have their beer Happy Dad, and they're pretty successful at what they do, undoubtedly. Well, he was on their podcast and he was talking about YouTube content, and people were asking him like, obviously you're a numbers guy, right? You're a numbers guy. What do you think about the most with content? And he was like, you know what? To be honest, I think you can study the algorithm all you want and be really concerned about that. Or what you can do is just be concerned with what people want to watch. And if you're concerned with what people want to watch, it just comes down to like basic human psychology. It's like, okay, what do people want to watch? What makes a story engaging? You know, he was referencing watching Pixar movies like Toy Story because they have that stuff kind of down pat. He was saying like, there's way less to YouTube than some people think. It's not all a numbers thing. Obviously, you have to be concerned with like, is the channel growing? Am I getting views? A lot of what you also have to be concerned with is just, are people going to want to watch this video? Which unfortunately, for a lot of people, that seems to be almost the last priority when making YouTube stuff, and that's why it doesn't pop off. What you should be concerned with most is, what are people going to get out of this video? Are they going to like watching it? Or are they going to sit down and think, wow, this is a really worthwhile thing to watch that made me entertained? Are they going to be engaged? Are they going to get kind of a message out of it? Is there like a connection between humans going on? Is there like education in it? Like, you need to be thinking about what about the content makes it appealing. And if you are thinking about that, if you're thinking about what people want to click on and what people want to watch, then chances are you will make the best video possible and people will want to watch your shit. And that's really what your number one concern should be with YouTube. And that should be your number one concern with making anything. I think your number one concern should all the time be, how am I going to make this thing the best? How am I going to enjoy the process of making it? Because if you're making any kind of art, any kind of project, if you're at a job, if you're not actually like learning to enjoy the little things about it, like the actual process of the work, then I don't think you're ever going to be able to make something good. I think it's going to fall apart pretty quickly. You're going to burn out. What you need to do is get yourself in a place, I've done with YouTube, where you're actually enjoying like simple stuff. You're enjoying simple stuff like the grind of video editing, which is like, I mean, I like video editing, but it's not the most exciting thing in the world. But that's okay. That's okay, because I actually enjoy the process of it more than I enjoy the outcome, which is like, oh, I get money and stuff like that. And as a result of me enjoying the process of video editing, of writing videos, of finding topics, of researching stuff like that, of talking to people, of interviewing people, you know, I interviewed Harley Plays recently. I interviewed Boogie the other day, which should be going up in not that long. Because I actually enjoy that process, it comes through in the content. People can see that, and I think that's what draws them to it partially, is the passion I have for it, the energy. At the end of the day, on YouTube, if you care about something and you show that through your content, people will watch that. That's all they really want. People want to watch people who care about things. They'll watch any fucking video I say about anything. They will find it and watch it. They can tell that the person involved really, truly cares. And like I said, if you care, if you enjoy the process of it, if you're putting in effort, then it will show. And it won't so much matter necessarily like what the direct result is. Like, you know, within the process of making it, I don't think that can matter so much to you. I think you have to enjoy the minutia of getting through it, of the daily grind, of waking up and saying, I'm going to be making content today. I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be doing something funny. I'm going to be trying to entertain people. And that has to be what comes first. And if it does come first, then the success, the fame, the fortune, whatever else, you know, as Internet of Jay wants, the e-girls, they'll be in your DMs all the time. They'll be in your DMs all the time. And you'll have a good time of it. Your expectation may be that because I make decent YouTube videos, I'm also good at Fortnite. That expectation, unfortunately, would be wrong. I'm terrible at Fortnite. But regardless, we're going to try to get that dub today. We're in top 11 right now. We got that
Juicy juice right now.
There you go. Expectation versus reality. I got fucking owned, okay? My expectation is that he was going to come over that hill. I was going to go kill him. And the reality is that I got destroyed. But if I allowed my expectations, and if they're met or not, to control how I operate my life, then I would just quit right now, because I'd be like, oh, fuck, I thought I was going to win. I didn't win. Then I should quit, right? What you have to actually like is the process of playing the game and getting better at it to actually get good. Now, whether or not I'll actually ever get good at this game is unknown, but, you know, playing Fortnite does lend itself in other ways to me, like having background footage for content, or having, you know, bullshit to play in the background on stream, or, you know, people can watch me be bad and they can enjoy that. And so, yeah, that's just my message for today. I've found that expectation, what I expect in life, and what a lot of people I know expect, rarely meets reality. So instead of running your life on expectations, run your life on reality, on what's actually happening, on what you can control, on what you can part in, and try to enjoy that and invest in that the most you can. And if you do, then the results will often be way better than what you could have ever expected. But only if you're concerned with living in the moment, with making it work. So So yeah, that's all I got to say. I think that's some decent advice that I would recommend. Outcome independence type stuff. Leave a like if you liked it. Leave a dislike if you disliked it. If you have any comments, thoughts, questions down below, then down below, and I'll take a look at them. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next video on the Tom Dark channel. I'm gonna go record the members only podcast actually, which is only available for YouTube members. So if you want to get more videos like this, become a YouTube member. So yeah, bye.